Hey everyone, Shabby Gamer here and welcome back to another random match here on WWE 2K18. Now this one has been suggested by Sage Babcock and it is going to be Samoa Joe versus Kurt Angle. Really great little feud they had over in TNA. And we do have another TNA arena. This time, hope this will be a bit better than the original one. We've got one for the Styles versus... What do we have? Styles versus Joe not too long ago. And we've actually got a better arena this time, I think. Probably more dated to the time. The arena wasn't fantastic before, was it? It was my own fault, to be honest. I must admit. And PJ David did actually point out that the arena I used was completely incorrect for the time frame. But PJ David is just a geek, you know. The time frame you used, the arena used, is not in the correct timeline for these two guys being part of the company. So he did interrupt incorrectly. I don't care. It is what it is. It's just a video on YouTube. Who cares? But this is pretty... I like this arena. Again, I'm not... I think this is the right time frame. I was actually watching TNA at this point, but to be honest, I can't remember for the life of me what it looked like at that point in time. But I feel like this is a pretty good arena. And this would be a pretty good match, I think, as well. So like I said, this one was suggested by Sage Babcock. If anyone else has any suggestions for random matches you would like to see, then please do head down to the comment section down below and put your suggestion in, and of course you will get a shout out if your name is one of the ones that's pulled out of the hat. And then here comes Kurt Angle, possibly the biggest signing TNA ever had in their history. It was a massive signing for them, but of course they got a little bit of damaged goods. Of course he had his issues with alcohol and so forth, but he seems to have got past that now. He's been sober for a good few years. And getting his time back in WWE, which is pretty nice, isn't it? It's nice to see Kurt Angle back on WWE. We've seen him wrestle his first match, of course, back at TLC. And he's only wrestling again at Survivor Series next week. And I dare say he's definitely going to be wrestling at WrestleMania. I think we've still got a good few years out of Angle, you know. Not as a full-time wrestler, but I think he can come in, have the odd match here and there. A bit like Triple H does. Come in, just have the odd match here and there. And still put on a real good show. So what do you guys think of this TNA arena? Do you think this is better suited? I like the little TNA logo I put in the corner, actually. I quite like that. I wasn't too sure about that, to be honest, but I like it. And it's sort of annoying now, because you can do all this sort of stuff. I feel like if we were doing our actual Fiends Universe modes and doing TNA and doing Lucha Underground and doing WWE and WCW and ECW and that sort of stuff, we could put some really cool stuff on now, couldn't we? But there you go. It is the way it is, I suppose, for now. We're going away. Yeah, we could have had like a TNA roster of Bobby Roode and Kurt Angle, Samoa Joe, AJ Styles is on the game now as well. Austin Aries got a really good core for, and it would have looked really cool with these newer, the way that the game has progressed with the creations being so clear as they are now and being able to create stuff which is so fantastic like this arena. We could have had really some cool stuff. Obviously, they've not added the six-sided ringers yet, which would be pretty awesome if they did at some point. But I don't think the AI would really be intelligent enough to be able to use the six-sided ring very well. I think it's difficult enough they have problems with trying to get everything right as it is, to be honest. Joe now bringing Angle back up to his feet, but Angle taking him down with the arm drag. I remember this one is for ranking points, and Kurt Angle's currently on my throwdown roster, whereas Samoa Joe's over on Adrenaline. So 5 points to the winner of this one, -5 to the loser. So it's a good match for these guys to actually get out there, and it gives them a boost up on the other guys in the roster, because obviously everyone tries to get as much TV time as possible, but we can only share out as much as we can. So when you get an opportunity to get 5 extra points, you've got to take your chances, haven't you? Angle there went for that somersault, but Joe just completely sidestepped it, and Angle landed pretty hard on the mat. And if you want to see some more of Angle, I believe, is it tomorrow? It is. Tomorrow, Kurt Angle takes on CM Punk for the Throwdown Championship at our first Throwdown pay-per-view of this Universe mode. So definitely worth a check out there. And Angle could do with the momentum and the extra ranking points moving into that match. That would really help him out as Joe just completely crashes him over that top rope. And it'd be embarrassing for me as well, and embarrassing for Throwdown if our number one contender was to lose here this evening. But I say embarrassing, it's a bit of a harsh word considering you're facing off against someone as strong as Samoa Joe. Joe then stamping on the chest of Angle now. Launching Angle across the ring. A boot in the spine of Angle. And a big boot in the gut of Angle as well. And Joe has been in firm control of this match for quite a chunk of it, hasn't he? Angle now bringing Joe back up, and Angle trying to get back into this one. Dropping Joe in the snake eyes. Angle now bringing Joe back up to his feet, looking for the ace crusher, but Joe just throwing him away. Joe now taking Angle up. Looking for the powerbomb, but Angle managing to break free. Joe, big right hand on Angle, and there's the half and half suplex, launching Angle across the ring. Joe now in dominance once again. I think he's finding it quite easy now, Joe. His Angle's had the odd bit of offense here and there, but Joe always seems to come out on top. There's the big Saito suplex. Dropping a knee right in the face of Joe there as well. Yeah, this was one of my favourite matches in TNA history, this was. The whole feud. I think at this point in time, Joe was still... That's exactly what I was about to talk about as well. Joe was still undefeated. And that kick right there, in one match between Joe and Angle, that kick right there actually knocked Angle unconscious. Joe now the big slam as well. And we're yet to see on this game a muscle buster. Is Joe banned from the muscle buster now? I don't think I remember him using it since... we might have used it once or twice, but since the injury to Tyson Kidd, I don't remember Joe actually using the muscle buster at all. Maybe he's been banned from using it as Angle locks him in for that T-bone suplex. Nice move. Angle now up on the middle rope, taunting away. Maybe needs to pay more attention to Samoa Joe though, rather than trying to get the crowd going. As Joe is back up to a knee, but Angle catching him with that backbreaker. Angle bringing Joe back up to his feet. Gets on the back. There's the German. Keeps the grip and rolls the hip. In for the second. Keeps the grip and rolls the hip. In for the trifecta of German suplexes. Stamping on the face of Samoa Joe. Angle bringing Joe back up, but Joe taking Angle down. Oh, boot in the face there by Angle on Samoa Joe. Joe catching Angle with the right hand now. Joe taking Angle up. Angle slides out the back into the backdrop. Stamping on the gut of Samoa Joe now as well. Angle bringing Joe back up, but Joe fighting back. There's a forearm. Big chop as well. And I aim for that big slam once again. And Samoa Joe once again just in firm control of this match. Every time Angle seems to get a little bit of offense, he just gets demolished once again by Samoa Joe. What is this? What is this? What is up with these bloody interferences in matches? There's not even anyone there. There's no one even there. Oh my god. Oh god. That is... Oh my god. I don't know what to say to you, I really don't. But why is Angle... Angle's not even moving. Angle, you could have won the match by bloody now. There's the pin. 1, 2... Oh, it's only a 2 count. Wow. Well, you wanted a random match, and that has just made this match incredibly random. The Rock, who at this point in time would have left WWE and would be in Hollywood, has just interfered in a match at TNA. Imagine the scenes if The Rock had interfered in a match in TNA. Well, there would have been absolutely no reaction at all, to be honest with you. Based on Bound for Glory that I watched last week, when Sami Callihan and Jimmy Jacobs turned up, there was absolutely no reaction whatsoever. And I found out why. There was an ad agency looking on Twitter for actors that were being paid £50 or $50 to watch TNA Impact for 4 hours. That's literally what it was. They're literally paying people now to be in the audience of TNA shows. Joe now turns it over into the Boston Crab. This could be enough, you know. It could be enough. No Angle able to break free. I still can't believe what I've seen here this evening. Yeah, and that's the reason why there's no reactions for people like Sami Callihan, because the people in the crowd have got no idea who Sami Callihan is. They had no idea. When Jimmy Jacobs walked out into the TNA Impact Arena during Bound for Glory, spoilers by the way, when Jimmy Jacobs walked out at the Impact Arena, there was absolutely no sound whatsoever. You could have heard a pin drop in that arena. I say arena, using that very loose term. In that barn, there was absolutely no sound whatsoever. It was shocking, really. I felt so sorry for the likes of Jimmy Jacobs and Callihan. Callihan must have been expecting a massive pop. Like, Sami Callihan turns up on NXT, there was a huge pop. Sami Callihan turns up on Impact, and there was one guy going, yay, in the background. That was it. It was shocking. Big knee in the gut there by Samoa Joe on Kurt Angle. Joe now taking... Well, Joe being taken up by Angle, then managed to fall through into the DDT. Joe now with a Samoan with a German suplex, and now into a dragon suplex. And now a straight jacket German as well. Joe in for the kick in the back, but Angle fought free, and Angle looking for a German of his own, but Joe managing to release himself from that grip. Sending Angle into the corner. They've been going for that big kick against again, but Joe gets caught by Angle once again. Another German suplex. The builder of Suplex City is here. Still enough for a 2 count though. Angle wrenching away at the neck now of Samoa Joe. Angle heading up top. This is quite apt, this was, because I seem to recall him hitting a moonsault off the top of the cage onto Samoa Joe during their match. Joe now with a backdrop on Kurt Angle. Angle fighting Joe with that kick in the knee. Angle now catching Samoa Joe into that snap suplex. Bringing Joe back up to a seated base. At the moment, nobody really looks that close to winning, do they? Both guys showing an incredible amount of resilience and fighting through whatever the other one can give towards them. And there's the Angle slam, and that could be enough though. There's the pin by Kurt Angle. 1, 2. And no, Joe's kicked out. Holy crap, Joe's bloody kicked out. What is Kurt Angle going to have to do? With Kurt Angle just hit an Angle slam. Samoa Joe's been hit by a rock bottom, but the less said about that, the better, I suppose. I'm lost for words at this point in time, to be honest. Maybe Joe's going to come out on top of this one then. One Coquina clutch could be enough, you know. Nice backdrop once again by Samoa Joe, bringing Angle back up to his feet. There's the German. Oh, this combination could be enough. Dragon. And the straight jacket German doesn't bridge it for the pin though, like I thought he might do. Nice shining wizard there by Joe. He needs to try and lock in the Coquina clutch. He's going for the pin though. 2. Only a 2 count. Joe once again bringing Angle up. Trying to take him up for a power slam, but Angle slides out the back and gets a kick in the back of the leg of Joe. Joe now taking Angle down. Joe again going to go for a dragon suplex, and again doesn't bridge for the pin though. This I don't remember a random match going this long before, to be honest with you. And Angle again slides out the back. There has been an update today. So I wonder whether that has made the game a little bit less likely to win. I don't know. There's another moonsault by Kurt Angle on Samoa Joe. And now Angle taking down the straps. And there it is. The Angle slam once again. There's the pin. Surely this time. 1, 2, and 3. And it is. Kurt Angle is your victor. I wish they wouldn't put 06 on the end, because that really annoys me. It really does annoy me, because it's just Kurt Angle. It doesn't matter what time frame it is. The 06 is just for when you're selecting your characters. As far as I'm concerned, this is Kurt Angle. This is time framed to the right time. But there we go. That was a big old match. That was 16 minutes I've been recording for. And Samoa Joe did his best, hit some big maneuvers, but Joe struggled. As soon as The Rock came out and hit him with that rock bottom, which is one of the biggest moments in TNA history. There's a bit of Mandela effect there for you. If you know what the Mandela effect is, by the way. If you do know what the Mandela effect is, then good on you. Yeah, it's when The Rock came out and interfered in that match historically in 2005, you know, as it was. But Kurt Angle is victorious. Was Kurt Angle victorious back in TNA? I can't remember now, to be honest. It's been that long since I watched the match. But there we go, Kurt Angle is victorious. He's the one taking the 5 ranking points, which is going to be greatly needed as he walks into that match tomorrow at our TNA, at our Throwdown pay-per-view, when he takes on CM Punk for the Throwdown Championship. Of course, thank you very much once again to Sage Babcock for your selection of random match. Of course, anyone else with any other suggestions, then please do drop them down in the comment section below. And of course, I'll add them all into the hat, and if yours gets pulled out, you'll get a shout out in the process. I've been Shabby Gamer, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.